So Rachel and I are gonna go on a walk in the neighborhood that we grew up in and just talk. It's kind of a nice warm evening. So I don't know which direction do you want to go.
What do you want to talk about?
Just how you are and what's going on. And oh, I think, do you have that lipstick on?
Yeah, I have a lipstick on.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you wear it often?
Or yeah, actually.
It's my favorite lipstick, the Covergirl. All right. Here are the birds. So, how have you been?
I've been great.
Anything you're working on?
Working on getting in shape. And I'm working on achieving inner bliss.
You started going to church.
Yeah.
That's surprising to me. Looks like they
One thing I've been doing is going to the gym a lot.
I used to come down here to this woods when I was a teenager and hang out in here. I mean, not a whole lot's been going on with me. That's good. I haven't walked down here in years. Here it is. Because you can't see it too well through the trees. People travel from all over to come to this place. It's like a castle. Always felt kind of weird about this place.
Does it make you feel weird?
It just feels like there's something weird, yeah.
So you feel a presence, like a spiritual presence?
I don't know if it's just in my mind from being a kid and being freaked out by it. It's not like anything happened to me here. So, do you believe in ghosts? Have you had any ghost situations?
I believe in ghosts. I don't really want to talk about it right now. I believe in ghosts.
Yeah, you've had experiences though.
Yes.
Yeah, we both have. Did you used to like be skeptical of it, and then?
I grew up skeptical till of paranormal in general, anything paranormal, including God, and I consider God paranormal. I mean, but I stopped when I was 14 is when I started believing that it was possible.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff going on.
I guess I was kind of skeptical about it until I experienced ghost stuff.
Yeah, and that was the things that I had an experience when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. I think a lot of times with paranormal stuff, you have to have experience with it in order to really believe in it.
Yeah, because it's like people always want to feel like they can see something for it to be real. Like you have to see it with your eyes, but sometimes it's not like something you see with your eyes. It's just like something you sense and you feel. And when it's happening, you're not questioning it because it's so real. When you look back on it, you're like, want to question it because you want to think, I don't have any proof, and we're all about having proof, but there's so many things in life that there's no way to prove. So, I
mean, they say because there's a lack of scientific evidence, and that's, the big argument against
because there's no proof. They can't and I guess all these ghost shows are them trying to find proof, getting it on camera or whatever.
And that's not really that convincing.
No, it's not.
I don't really like those shows. I mean,
right. I mean, anyone could just act like they're scared, running around yelling and being like, "Oh, did you hear that?" I mean, it's silly.
It can always be staged, but there are experiences you have which you know for yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to convince anyone else.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a personal visiting from a person you used to know or something. You don't. I think it's not meant for anybody else.
If you believe in the supernatural, you're happier. And so there are people who are, I say atheism, and I talk about, that's kind of it's just kind of a lazy way of saying people don't believe in the afterlife, God, and
what do you think happens when we die?
You go to heaven.
Do you really think that there's like a drastic negative place and a drastic positive place?
I do not believe that, no.
If you ask me, we're already in hell. But
I would.
I say we are. Not trying to be funny,
Yeah.
but that's really how I feel. And I've always felt that way. People always thought I was being negative or being dramatic, but I've always had this sense that, like, there's something really wrong with this place. I don't mean Oregon. I mean, like,
The Earth.
this life.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this universe. I agree.
yeah.
I believe there are things that can happen to souls that don't grow, and spiritually, like their souls don't grow.
But I also think that if we knew exactly what happened when we die, we would live our lives so differently, and it would be bad. Like, if we knew for an absolute fact, oh, well, we're going to go to this place after this, people might just start doing crazy things because they don't care, you know, whatever. So it's probably better that we don't know.
And why?
So it's kind of good to have the sense of, this is it. So do as much as you can in this life, because you don't know if you're going to get another one or another chance, you know? It's kind of good instead of living life like, well, I don't have to really try this time. I'm going to have another try. Like a computer game where you can say, oh, I didn't like how I played that level. Let's restart it. You know?
I think. I don't think that would happen if they knew that there's eternal life. I think you don't get eternal life if you are wicked. And I don't mean you go to hell, I mean you just eventually get annihilated. Meaning you don't exist anymore, you don't experience pain either.
The thing that bothers me is that people act like death is so negative, but I feel like if everyone's gonna have to die, no matter who you are, then it can't be bad. It's just the next step to whatever there is. And I think that there's comfort in that.
It's scary.
Well,
I think that's scary.
People have a hard time with the unknown, but
Yeah.
I guess when I think about death, I'm not really afraid to die. I'm more of afraid of not doing what I wanted to do before I died.
What do you want to do before you die?
I really need that love in my life, that relationship. I want to be married, and it to be like a good marriage. I don't want to just get married to get married. I don't care about the ceremony part. I care about the relationship. That's very important to me, to have that like comfort and that support and all of that. And anyone that has that, you have no idea how lucky you are. Like, we take things for granted a lot, and I think, you know, if you're used to having something every day, then you forget how it would feel if you know, you don't even know what it would feel like if you didn't have it, you know. Just little things like having someone to have dinner with is a big deal, you know, or even if you just going to bed together with somebody is comforting in ways that you don't always realize unless you don't have it. You know, little things like that.
Do you believe in love?
I do, because I have felt it.
Yeah.
It's just it's an emotion, you know.
Yeah.
But I also think that love evolves, love changes. You're not gonna love the person the same way you did from the beginning as time goes on. Like, it's either going to get stronger or it's going to fade in from the intensity. Like, you're not gonna feel like, oh, I want to have sex with this person all the time. It's gonna change more into like a different type of love and a different type of connection, you know.
Do you want to have kids?
I never thought I wanted to have kids. That was never an urge. I've never had that urge in me to have children. I never was like, oh, I gotta have a baby. Do I think I'd be missing out on something in life if I didn't have a child? Yeah, I do. But I don't have that need to run out and have a kid.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm getting older, and so my chances of doing that are getting
You're still young.
down there. But do you feel like you are afraid to meet new people, like meet a new guy and invest in a relationship? Is that like scary to you, or are you like excited to get out and meet somebody new?
Let's see. I'm worried that I won't find someone who interests me. You know, I'll find someone who'll just be boring. Someone who'll be boring.
Do you feel like you might have to just compromise?
No, that's come up before, yes.
What?
That's come up in my mind before.
I'm starting to feel like I'm gonna have to like compromise
I
on
just
what I really
feel
want when it comes to a
with-
guy.
Looking at my situation from the outside, I don't know who's going to be interested, and it's not because I'm not interested. It's because, just looking at it from far away, they say they run the other direction.
Because of your mental health issues and stuff,
Yes.
it's hard for anyone to accept.
Whatever that situation looks like without understanding it.
There's a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
People, this is the thing it frustrates me. Like, I'm an unusual person myself, and with unusual people, you have to give them time to like really learn who they are. You meet them one day and you're gonna think they're a weirdo, and you're gonna be, I don't understand this person, you're gonna run for the hills, like, oh, okay. But if you give people a chance and you go, this is something unusual, this is something I don't normally see, let me understand why they are the way that they are, you're gonna actually find out you're meeting maybe somebody that teaches you something, or somebody that's more fun, and you might like.
Maybe you should listen to your own advice person.
I do that. I did that, and you know what happened? I got beaten up.
Just saying.
Yeah, I made a compromise
that
with
was one
somebody I
person.
didn't really like that much, and that was a huge mistake, and I regretted that. And then I thought, wow, I should have waited for someone I actually was like excited about. I know that sounds awful. I shouldn't share that, but it's the truth. I'm not going to pretend. That's what happens when, it's not like my standards are so high and nobody can reach them. It's not even that. It's, you have to be sexually attracted to somebody. You have to like having a conversation with them. You have to feel like they enjoy some of the same things you do because you want to go do stuff with them. You have to have some of the same values because...
What are your values?
In regards to what? In life?
Life values, yeah.
I believe in being a committed relationship. I believe in being good to others. I believe in being honest. What's your values?
My values. My spirit's interrupting, so don't say anything. Actually, I can say things. I believe in caring and love for others, respect of others. Probably don't ask me that right now. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't ask me that right now.
Okay. Explain this thing about spirits. You and spirits.
What do you want to know, Kristen?
Well, is there like a person that's there with you that we can't see? Or is it something in your head?
It's not in my head.
Well, then we'll explain how it is. No. You won't tell me? You won't tell me? Why?
Well, I have Ian. He's the love of my life.
Who's that?
He's a spirit.
It's a spirit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's a joke. It is.
I don't think that's a joke. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's the thing, is that I'm not alone. But I would like to have, I might need to sit for a second to relax before diving right into a relationship with someone. If that happens, it occurs to me that's probably a good idea right now.
Well, yeah, and especially after the situation that I had when I learned that someone can seem like they're a very kind person for months and then end up being the worst person you've ever met in your life. That scares me. I guess, like, how long do you think you have to wait till you really know a person? 6 months, a year, a couple years?
I don't really know, Kristen. I would think there were warning signs, though.
I guess the only warning sign when I look back at it is how he was talking about getting married right away. And I thought it was very weird that he kept pushing getting married when we barely knew each other. And I'm like, why do you want to marry me so badly when you've only known me like 2 weeks? And I thought that that was weird. And then when I look back at that, I feel like he just wanted that so he can control me more. You know, like, you're my wife, I own you, like, kind of thing, you know, and making me live in the house with him and then trapping me and controlling me. It's kind of what I felt like that. So I think if anyone wants to rush into marriage, then, you know, I can understand. Like, there was one time, though, that I knew immediately how I felt about this person. I'm like, yeah, this is...
I don't know what
I would definitely like jump into a relationship and like want this to, you know, work out in that way. We had gone to a bar and I kind of drunkenly said, let's get married. And I know that that was kind of silly of me, but I guess there was one time I really did feel that way, and I still think about that person, but I'll probably never see him again.
I felt that way one time too, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. And what is that?
Only once. Only one person.
And what does that mean though, if you have such a strong feeling towards a person, like this is the person for me, and you feel like instantly like in love with them, and then it doesn't work out, but then you start, I don't understand what that means.
It means something different every time, I think.
Well, does that mean that they just didn't feel the same way, or they got scared, or I don't know, you were just in a vulnerable place in your life? I don't know. I guess my idea, the movies make you think that if you're in love with somebody, they're going to feel the same way about you. And I think that is like one of the biggest lies I was ever fed in life.
I watched Sleeping Beauty.
And it really hurt I guess, I believed this for years, and I think that's a lot of the problems I had with relationships growing up, is that I thought, well, if I felt so intensely about the person, they must feel the same way. They're just afraid to say it. Not always the case. And I think that was something that was very damaging to me. But Disney movies really were, I think, taught me the wrong things about relationships, especially Sleeping Beauty and how she's just singing in the woods and the prince thinks that that's the love of his life. I mean,
they both thought so. They're both.
It's kind of silly. I know, but it's stuff like that.
Sleeping Beauty cried her eyes out because she wasn't allowed to see him. I don't believe in, you know, we talk about soulmates in the spiritual sense.
Okay.
Not everyone's married to their soulmate, you know, that's what they like to say.
Oh, I know that. Most people don't even know. I don't even think most people even know what real love is.
However,
I think most people don't even know what good sex is.
You can be in love with someone without them being your soulmate. And you have more than one soulmate.
Yes, I think there's more than one person for you in life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. You done?
You listen to music?
I find myself just not liking a lot of the music nowadays.
I don't like a lot of the new music either. The hit music I don't like.
I feel like music's just not real music anymore. I don't think they can really sing. There's so much auto-tune, and then there's like, you know, that person nowadays didn't really make that song. A lot of them, most of them, at least the popular ones. It's just not my thing.
It doesn't matter to me if the person who sang the song wrote the song. Some auto-tune doesn't matter to me. It depends on the song. There are these songs that are just, you know, the rap today, it's just kind of like this. It all sounds, maybe I haven't heard all of it. And I don't listen to it that often, but usually it all sounds the same. Like they use the same musical technique in the background over and over. It's all the same.
The song that I do like that's newer is that Astronaut in the Ocean song. Have you heard that song, Astronaut in the Ocean? I like that song. I know. Well, I think a lot of it is now, I used to be able to watch MTV and there was music videos.
Yeah.
And now they don't even do that anymore, so I think that's how I was learning about a lot of new artists. Oh yeah, I think all that. Weren't boy bands just an experiment thing anyways? They put all these guys together that didn't really know each other, and at least I think isn't that what Backstreet Boys was? I don't know.
I haven't listened to NSYNC in like forever though. I like this song Pop. And you know, I don't have like any, I don't think, you know, you should have to have some sort of pretentious attitude about what kind of music you like. If you like music, you can listen to it even if it's something weird. It's something other people make fun of you for.
Yeah. You don't need permission to listen to what you like.
And someone else thinks it's the worst song in the world. It's like, that's, you know, everyone perceives music differently. Yeah. You know, my experience was really different than someone else's. So there's no reason to make fun of anyone forever listening to music.
Well, people like to find reasons to, like, discriminate against people.
People want to pick on other people.
Yeah, like they enjoy putting people down. Like some people are that way. Like maybe they just, I always think when people do that, they don't like themselves. Anyways, it's been an interesting walk and talk.